Good morning and thank you very much for joining us again today. My name is Dakbo Aruaje. Let me start by introducing my guest this morning. I have on my left side Comrade Joseph Ever is the coordinator, is job monitoring group, and is a rights activist and also a public affairs analyst. Thank you very much for joining us, Comrade.
Good morning.
I also have Honorable Segun Olulade, a member Lagos House of Assembly, a chairman House Committee on Health. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you and good morning.
I wanted to call you comrade and call you honorable.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah. Let me start with you, Comrade Eva, because we started something yesterday. We're looking at, we're doing a mix of the two, really, because we started one on Monday, looking at the budget and how feasible the budget. And also yesterday, we're looking at the fact that we saw in the news that the president might have to shake up his cabinet, reshuffle his cabinet. 10 might have to go, and 2 definitely, Ocholi, James Ocholi. We need to replace James Ocholi, and also Amina that is leaving for UN of recent. But in your assessment, what do you think the ministers? It's been a year now, a year and so few days, or a year and month. What's your assessment? Have they tried or living up to expectation or not?
We have to look at the response from the Nigerian people. From the Nigerian people, there is need for them to replace some of them. The complaint this year, you are aware, is too much. So I think the ministers, some of them, did not perform well. So if the president is looking at the way Nigerians are complaining, there is need for him to do some changes.
And coming to the minister that really concerns you, really, or the ministers that concern you, that's the Minister of Niger Delta and the Minister of State of Niger Delta. There's Pastor Ngiru, and also there's Mr. Daramola, Omole Daramola. Have you seen any impact these two gentlemen have made in your...
Well, when we confront them, they complain about funds. So we believe that they really need the funds to perform. And the budget... look at the budget for the Niger Delta. The money there is not enough for the type of problem we have there. So I hope they will also protest. As good party men, they know the way to protest. That, look, we need more of this money. This money is not up to what we can do for a single state. Then we know we also have the NDDC. So we also appeal to the federal government to pay up the money owed by the federal government. The oil companies are not paying their allowances to the NDDC. So if all these things are there, I believe that we can rate the ministers. But for now, we have not seen them doing anything because they are complaining of funds. Again, we want to thank the president for increasing the amnesty budget to 65 billion for the 2017. Okay. Now, as we speak, the amnesty stipends, they are not paid. So up to now, 6 months now, 6 months, 5 months, there is not. Up to now, 2 or 5 days to Christmas, there is no amnesty payment in the Niger Delta. It's not fair. We all shout and complain that when Niger Delta, there is peace there, then the oil price, oil production will rise. But as we speak, there is no amnesty payment. There is tension now. We are talking to them that the man in charge is working very hard to make sure that they get their stipend before Christmas. So we hope so. And we are appealing to the president to help this tension that we are calming down to remain. Let us have that peace that is required for the Christmas and for the New Year in the region. 5 months, 6 months, no stipend payment.
And we really need that peace.
We need the peace.
We need it. And let me go to you now, Honorable. What do you think? Your observation, really, generally, talking about the ministers. What do you think?
I will say that to be sincere with us, we need to reject that cabinet. I would not miss word in saying this, that there are some ministers that have no business in this government. We campaign, we told people, we give them manifestos and all sort of things. So that this is what the APC is coming to do. But some of them are there without no knowledge of the purpose or the reasons why they have been in that office. And I think it's high time. I think it's even a belated issue. I think by now some of them should have gone. And we have people who are ready to drive the economy.
Fresh people.
Fresh people who are ready to drive the economy and make things happen in the cabinet that will make Nigerians put succor in the faces of Nigerians that they can easily relate with. And but for me, I think it's got me a bit late for me as an individual. I think it's something that we should have done
a long time ago, because we have realized that a lot of these ministers are not really. I don't need to be mentioning names here, but I think something needs to be done, most especially with the economy team, and look at how we can drive the economy to ensure that Nigerians that are hungry, we are all hungry in this country today, and though we might say it's not a fault of this current government, but notwithstanding, by now there must be something. We can't continue to give excuses for the entire duration of our tenure. And I think we have an example here in Lagos. At least there is some sort of cushion that is taking place, and I think that should also happen at the national level. We'll talk about Lagos, because we need examples, really. Maybe if the federal government emulates what is going on in Lagos, maybe we'll be out of recession very soon. But let's talk about, the germane part of it is oil. Now, the budget, which is 7.298 trillion naira, is still predicated on oil, because the internally generated part of the money, most of it will come from the oil sector, and a little bit of it from the non-oil sector. We still have the president as the minister. That's the minister of petroleum. What is your own take? Because that's where we left the discussion yesterday. We still have the minister of state for petroleum there, Ibe Kachukwu. What do you think? Some people yesterday said the president has a whole lot to be doing. Give this job to somebody else.
Well, I've said it time without number that the president should give the job to somebody else, and he should be the minister of education, because every other thing is under education. Every other thing. So if the president is the minister of education, who is the father? Education is the father of every other thing. So let him be the minister of education, so that he will know what is happening in Unilag.
But he wasn't a teacher before. Wasn't a lecturer before.
It doesn't matter, because when you are a minister of education, every other thing, science, health, every other thing will come under. If education suffer, how do you build the capacity to handle all these things? But having said that, if you look at the budget, everybody will clap for the budget, as we are clapping now. But my brother, there is something bigger than the budget. The beauty of the budget, like a lady going for wedding. The implementation. And the president don't need to be distracted. There are a lot of distractions around the president this outgoing year.
From his cabinet?
From the political leadership, the cabinet, and not even the cabinet, the party itself. We want the party to know, like what Honorable has said, that you campaign around the whole world. Let's say the country is part of the whole world, that these are the things you are going to do. So the party should know that they have that image. They have told Nigerians that we are going to do this, we are going to do this, we are going to do this, we are going to do this. If these things are not happening, definitely people are going to hold the party responsible. But I will go even deeper now, because we are in a serious situation. If what happened this year, where some people will just go to the Aso Rock, there to go and be only carrying lies, blackmail people and other things, disturb the president. Some people only go to the Aso Rock, just like the era of Jonathan. And I've been going to different media houses, and I publish in different papers. People go there to tell lies against people, manipulate stories and all that. The president cannot concentrate.
And he needs that concentration.
He needs that concentration. So the party leadership should know that it was their party banner that they carried around the whole country, saying that they want to relieve Nigerians. They want to rescue Nigerians. So the party needs that unity, and apart from that, the leadership of the party. So I will use, they not only coming together, they need to, the president need to cooperate with those people who are the key figures There are some people, their faces are the symbol of the party.
Okay. At that juncture, we need to go on a short break. When we come back, the discussion continues from there. Don't go anywhere, please. Welcome back. I still have Honorable Segun Olulade of the Lagos State House of Assembly and also Comrade Joseph Eva, a rights activist, in the studio. And before we went on break, Comrade Eva finished what he was saying then. But the same question I'll put to you. What do you think? Because we still have the President, President Muhammadu Buhari, as the substantive the Minister of Petroleum. What do you think? A lot for the President. Should he just relinquish the power?
I think he has said it all. Beyond him handling so many things now, you cannot also take away the international politics from his own responsibility as a leader in this country and as an African leader. And such, we need him at home, we need him internationally. And as such, I don't think coming to the issue of petroleum, that you should still remain the Minister of Petroleum. I don't think so. I think he needs to have a lesser responsibility as a minister if he so desires to be a minister or to hold any portfolio in his cabinet. But for me, I think we need some youthful incursion in the cabinet that our youth, we have a lot of brains out there. Young men, vibrant men that could change things, that are passionate, that are innovative, that can create a very, very creative youth around, that could make things happen within a very short period. But I think that's one of the reasons that this reshufflement is important, or rejigging the cabinet is very, very important at this moment. Okay. I don't subscribe to the fact that yes, he has this integrity, his credibility is not in doubt, but you can't do everything on your own. You must be able to trust people. Yes. You must be able to, delegate responsibility to people. But if you can't do that, then there is an issue. So I think, Mr. President, and talking about our party, I'm a party man.
Because he said it's like whatever is happening now, people will still say, yes, Honorable, but you are the change person or the change people.
Yeah, as far as this country is concerned today, our constitution and vis-a-vis the judgment, the Supreme Court judgments are pronouncing that it is a party that wins an election, not the candidate. So if that is the issue, then the party also have a responsibility in this whole matter. And that is why, as a party, we must come together to support Mr. President. We must come together to work together in unity, not to bring down anybody, we must be able to channel our effort in the direction that we have campaigned to the citizenry of this country. So it's important that
what goes around comes around. Really. Comrade, what do you think? Because 2.2 million barrels per day, that's a projection if we are going to achieve the budget fully. And about now we are doing 1.8 or thereabouts. Some people argue even lesser than that because we don't even know how much we even produce in a day in this country or how much we lose. And that's very, very unfortunate. But what do you think? Now it seems there is a relative peace in the Niger Delta. Is it going to continue for a long time for us to achieve 2.2 million barrels per day?
If we are experiencing, if the government is doing the right thing and engage the idle brains in the Niger Delta and activities, economic activities are going on, there is no problem. But let me tell you, even if you produce 10.10, 70.70, if the president is surrounded by people who are sycophants, if the party leadership will not take it upon themselves that, look, we represent this government. Therefore, the president must succeed. And if the president allow only people who are intelligent, people who have the capacity to come around him to advise him. So that is why, even now, since we are coming to the end of the year, I want to advise the leadership of the party that if your government is to succeed, the leadership must not fold down. For example, look at this Falcon something. Our daughters went to Cameroon. They won gold. Look at the way we treated them.
They said they never expected. The minister said they never
That minister is supposed to go within 2 seconds. But I'm surprised he's still roaming about with his beret, dancing about. There is nothing we can do. But we have to.
He should go
for the sake of this country.
He should resign.
He should resign.
Or should be sacked.
He should be sacked. He should be sacked.
But he was saying the truth.
I'm going beyond even that minister.
He said we don't have money. That was what you said initially.
I'm going beyond that now. I'm going beyond that now because 2017, Nigerians expect a lot from this party and from the government. Nigerians expect a lot. The president has just told us that 2017 will be a miracle year. But you just have to be careful. And that is why we are telling the leadership of the party now, just like in the days of our brother Jonathan when he was in government, and we appear in different television stations to advise him. What happened concerning this Falcon? Our daughters won gold cup. Look at the way they are begging for recognition. Look at the way those who won silver were honored by their president because of the kind of advisors around. So even people like Lai Mohammed, I'm so ashamed of him that he was hiding from these girls. He was covering his face. It was chief of staff. I believe that chief of staff to the president is older than him, that went to even say, we'll do something to our daughters. Don't we have daughters in our homes? They won gold and we treated them like that. So that is why I'm also appealing to the leader of the party, Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu. He should not fold down because as far as Nigerians are concerned, he was the brain behind how President Buhari emerged. Whether he like it or not, whether fake historian write anything or not, it is there in the heart of Nigerians. It cannot be, it's not a paper that you can manipulate. President Buhari told us just a few years ago that he will not contest election again. It did not happen 700 billion years ago. The whole Nigerians know that it was Alhaji Tinubu that brought him back, convinced him.
So whatever happens...
I want to doff my hat to a woman in this country, the wife of the president. I was surprised that in Africa,
Aisha.
Yes, the wife of this president, to say that it was Tinubu that encouraged her to come and campaign. We have not seen her in this country before campaign. For somebody to give honor to somebody, to our own fellow human in Africa, not even in Europe, for that woman to say that it was Tinubu that encouraged her to come out and campaign. I continue to wonder whether we are in Nigeria, because human being to say she want to give that type of honor. So because of that, definitely there are a lot of gambling and calculation and all that in order to see that the leader of the party is frustrated. So during the time of my brother Jonathan, Obasanjo was the one that encouraged him to come and contest election. Obasanjo told Babangida to drop his ambition because he wants Jonathan to be the president. After about 1 year or thereabout, Jonathan started having problem with Obasanjo.
Okay.
I published in papers that, what type of thing is this in Africa?
So you are saying there should be unity within the party?
There should be unity. Apart from that, we are telling, because Nigerians are suffering, and every suggestions, everything that we have to do, I don't want people like Asiwaju to say because there are some blackmails and this and that, he will fold his hand. No, because I know Yoruba land.
Okay.
I was a teacher in Ekpe in the 80s, assistant teacher in Lofegumide Grammar School. I know the politics of Yoruba people. If you do not if you do not do your homework when you are leading, in the next 100 years, Yoruba people will still torment your children.
Thank you so much.
Yoruba people, the day your son want to contest councillorship, they will remind you of 400 years when your father was. So this government, it was Tinubu that brought about
Buhari coming back again to contest.
So all
the
hands-
election.
all hands
Therefore,
must
he
go there.
cannot fold his hand.
Okay.
Like this Falcon something. I expected him to also visit Buhari and say, look, our children are crying.
Okay.
He should not think that because if he go there, people, because of blackmail and other things, like what we saw in Oputa panel. No, we have to, because we must save this country.
Yes.
In Oputa panel, when Bamayi and some other people went
Yes.
to Abacha,
Yes.
manipulate and went to Dia, deceive Dia. So if some people are coming to see Tinubu and they will put a cassette in their face so that they will go and tell the president that Tinubu want to hurt you, Tinubu this and that. Those type of things cannot work well in 2017.
Comrade
In
Eva.
2017, if they do that
It is
and he
not gonna
fold his
possible.
hand, we know him that he was the person who, after Buhari has resigned from politics, he brought him. So because of that, he must stand by him. He must go to that house work every time to see that the right thing happens.
Honorable.
We don't want what happened to our Falcon daughters
To happen again. Honorable.
It will not
You know
happen
what?
again.
You know the
Maybe-
question. You know the question I asked Comrade Eva
Yes.
was, how do we keep this 2.2 million barrels per day coming in?
Come to
And
reality.
he now went to the fact that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu
Yes.
will need or we have to help this government. Is that not what you're saying?
Yes, because
Yeah,
even if
yeah,
you make it
yeah,
10.8,
yeah.
it's meaninless.
Do you want
If
to
there is
take-
distraction in
do
the
you want
government.
do you want to take it from there? Because
Yes,
really,
I need to say this because I'm a party man and I know that there might be some insinuations around and but for me I know Ashwaju and President, they are working together and we will see a lot of development in the coming year. But he talks about Lai Mohammed hiding and all sort of things. And I think, first of all, it's not his portfolio.
His portfolio is public relation for the government. He's
yes,
supposed to go and
Minister
visit the
for
daughters and say,
Information.
you are daughters. You have done, giving us good
Yes,
image. It's
yes.
the work of Lai Mohammed not to give Nigeria good image outside the country and Nigeria.
Yes,
within Nigeria.
but once
But in that
he also
instance-
he also needs information because I've been there before as a spokesperson
Yeah.
for Lagos State House of Assembly. So he needs information to really be able.
So all
to
the town hall
disseminate.
meetings that he's doing, there is no information.
And I think-
he
and I
has no
think-
information for all the town hall meetings.
and I think
We only
that
ran the whole
that long
Well, don't let us
Let's
even.
not go there.
don't
But
let us go
you know
there
what?
now.
We still need to talk about that 2.2 million.
2.2,
barrel.
yeah.
But
The-
can we do that after this short break?
Okay, no
Because we
problem.
need to go on a short break. When we come back, I'll come to you straight. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying with us. And don't go anywhere. Welcome back. The question is, how do we fund this budget, 7.298 trillion naira? And I was asking Honorable Lula the last time because 2.2 million barrels per day crude oil. That's what can help us to leave this present situation. And again, there's another avenue where I think Lagos is doing well. Talking about tax. Generation of tax, and that's what I think Fowler wants to replicate, which was the man in charge of the Lagos State Internal Revenue, and now is at federal. Do you think he can do much about that, or should we just rely on the oil alone?
Well, for me, I think Fowler is an asset to this country. We know what he did here in Lagos. And I believe that he can replicate that also at the national level if given the opportunity to do so. And
What do you mean if given the opportunity?
Well, there might be a lot of saboteurs even within the system. So he needs to also do a lot. He needs to bring in his own men. He needs to ensure that people are doing it the way he wants it to be done. And he can now be given targets, and I believe he can always achieve those targets if people are ready to cooperate with him. And we're talking about the 2.2 million barrel per day. I am still not too sure how we're going to get to that with the current situation, except Mr. President take it upon himself to ensure that peace in Niger Delta. Fine, we have oil now in Lagos, but even with that, there must be peace in Niger Delta. He talked about the issue of the the stipend they are giving to
the militants.
To the militant. I think it is important that we ensure that those money gets to the right people at the right time and do everything. Let's create an enabling environment. Let people function perfectly in their respective responsibility. Well, coming to, because he also talked about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his role, and because he's a face, to be sincere with ourselves, that is the man that make it happen in 2015. It was him that mobilized every part of the nation to support, even at the primary. I was a delegate at that primary at the national, Balogun Stadium here. I was a delegate there, and I know what happened prior to that period. And that's why I also will say I doff my cap for Her Excellency, the wife of the president. For her to be able to have been able to come out at the time, at that critical period of this government, for him to have come out to say this is what is going on in this cabinet, and make us know some of the things that we're unaware of. And beyond that also, I think Asiwaju's role at this critical period is for him to stand. He can, and I trust him. Nobody can cage him. He is a made man, and he's somebody that a lot of us have great respect for what he has done. And it's not because of his face, it's not because he was a former governor or because he was a former senator, no. For what he has done and what he's still doing. What he's still doing, that's what I want to say, because if you have soldiers like Ben Akabweze, soldiers like Fowler coming from Lagos, and you have more soldiers like that, maybe people under the tutelage of Asiwaju Bola. We have a lot of them who have gone through his tutelage, the likes of if you have them injected into the system, more of the federal system, Fayemi, all these people, they were his baby, and I think they also have a road to represent what the man stands in, helping the budget. That's what I'm saying. The budget to be realistic and to be achievable. So we need to bring in, and that's why I said those who are performing, we leave them. Those who are not performing, we take them out of the system. All right, then, Comrade Joseph Eva, because right about now in the budget we have the Ministry of Interior 63 billion, talking about the capital expenditure, FCT 37 billion, NDDC 61 billion, and Niger Delta Ministry 33 billion. That's like 93 billion naira just for capital expenditure. And I think we've been together on one of these programs, I think is on Standpoint, and you were talking about the fact that these monies, do they really get to the people? Do they really do the work they're meant to do? If these monies are marked to these regions, is it just some collected few that gets rich? If you get what I mean, it's like the condition in Niger Delta deteriorates the more, and the condition of some few people gets better by the day. Do you want to build on that?
All this, we are saying, that is why I'm raising the alarm now. If the people who advise the president and the leadership of the party that is in charge of this government. I beg your pardon, can I quickly take our first caller? He's been holding on for a while. Yakub from Dokpemo. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Doctor.
Good morning, Yakub.
Good morning to the two wise men in the studio.
Good morning.
It's one of my pioneers there, the person I respect most because of the truth that is always talked about. You see, therefore, I hereby withdraw my statement that I made yesterday about Baba Sheikh Lawal. And then I use this opportunity to tender apology to him. Because I said yesterday that the man must go.
Okay.
Therefore, do you know the problem we have in this country is Senate? It's Senate in the sense that, do you know the Senate, though we all know them that they always forgery the document. Do you know that these people forgery the document to tackle that Baba Sheikh Lawal? When I read the newspaper this morning and then I read it on social media, I just found out that all what they have been talking about that it's a false message, false story. Therefore, I hear about telling Nigerian people that we should not support this Senate. You know why? Because they have tackled the Mr. President directly. He decided that the president is taking one of the leaders to the top.
Okay.
Therefore, Aruwajo, God Almighty will bless this studio, because this is only studio that we all have to talk our mind. When we are talking about Nigeria, let me just talk about the budget now. Therefore, Aruwajo, you see, the Nigerian government have projected about 2.something million barrels per day.
Yes.
I don't think it's realistic, because do you know these people? They budget almost 90 billion to that region now. Do you know this money? Those have ever sitting down that studio, we agree with me, this money. This money that they're giving to some people is going to their individual pocket. It does not go to the squad, it does not go to the root.
Yakub, thank you so much. That's the same question I asked Comrade Joseph Eva. You are helping me to re-echo it. Really, it's the same thing Yakub is saying.
I've
Does
said
it go to individuals?
I have said the time without number that they don't implement the that money. You don't see it. It's on paper. Now let me give you one example. Goje, the Senate chairman for appropriation.
Yes.
He was surprised that 500 billion naira this year, 2016 budget, 500 billion naira for poverty alleviation. The woman in charge of poverty alleviation told the Senate committee that only 1 billion naira was released to her. So that is why I'm appealing to the leadership of the party, because me, I know what happened during the era of former President Jonathan. If people who are sincere, people who know very well that they are the people that brought these people into government, and because of that, they don't want their name. They want to make sure that there is progress. The moment some other people who are charlatan, people who are sycophants, go to the villa and hijack and start telling lies and carrying rumors and all that, the president will not be asking, why is it that this thing is not happening? Why is it that this thing is not happening? That is why I'm raising alarm now, because in 2017, if the thing goes the same way, where some people, the other time I saw in some of the newspapers where some people said that they published some photograph of some people, even one of the former governors of Lagos State here, saying that they are the people that want to be in charge of the party in Lagos. I continue to wonder. These are the things that they use in wrecking my brother government, Jonathan government. These are people that cannot address a crowd of 10 persons. These are people that we know one-on-one that cannot even address a crowd of 10 persons. They are the people that they say they are the face of the party in this and that, in Southwest and this and that, and start causing confusion. And they'll be going to the villa to be telling lies.
Basil is calling from.
And you can see the confusion.
Yeah, I wonder.
With that, before you know April, before you know July, before you know the end of the year, nothing. Back to phase one.
Basil, good
morning. We don't want that. We don't want to go back to phase one.
Okay.
We want to go forward.
Okay.
Phase 3, phase 5, phase 6, phase 7. If not, Nigerians will continue to be crying.
Basil, good morning. You're calling from UK.
Yes. Good morning, Dr.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Morning.
I'd like to make a contribution to this discussion.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
As Comrade Eva and your other guests have pointed out, we have a good budget for implementation in 2017. And I see this budget being an aspect of the government's effort to bring Nigeria out of the present depression or that we are experiencing. But the critical issue, which has been pointed out, is the ability of government to implement the budget to get the desired objective, attain the desired objective. Secondly, another issue that has been pointed out is that the Supreme Court has pointed out that it is the party that wins the election.
Yes.
In other words, the mandate is given by voters to the party. Therefore, as your two guests have pointed out, it behoves on the party then to come together, particularly the leadership of the party, and cooperate with the president to ensure that the mandate given by the electorate of the party is successfully implemented.
All right, Basil. Let's leave it at that. Thank you very much for your contribution. What do you think? Because, sorry about that. Comrade Joseph Eva was saying that even though this money that's been earmarked to different ministries, including the Niger Delta Commission and the Ministry of Niger Delta also, these monies are just on the paper. They never implemented.
Yeah, well, for me, I think that is where the parliament have a role to play. The legislative, the National Assembly have a role to play in that. You cannot just come over. Yeah, even for implementing some of these things, you know, they are just estimate. They are just forecasts.
Yes, for
and they will now need some certain amount of how the ingenuity to be able to raise those funds for the implementation. So at times that money can be there. I mean, the money can be there on paper, and if they don't have something to support it, and that is why some of us looking at even this year, I mean 2017 budget, I am not too comfortable because a budget that we have about 30% going for capital and recurrent is about 60 something percent. I think unlike Lagos, where we have it's just a reverse of it. We have the capital, and that's why you can see
capital 70%
and
recurrent 30%.
And that's why things are happening in Lagos, and that's why we think Nigeria as a country must not shy away from the reality on ground. We must be able to say, okay, let us look at the Lagos model. What makes it happen? Who were the brain behind these things?
It won't be a big deal to do that, right?
I mean, well, I believe that if everybody, we can just be sincere with ourselves and work together in unity, I think things will go the right way it ought to go.
All right, then, because I wanted to talk about that lake, Lagos Kebbi Rice also.
You can see this.
Can we do that after the break? Because
Okay,
we just have
you.
time to talk about that. Because we need to go on a short break, and when we'll come back, the discussion continues. Don't go anywhere, please. Welcome back. Our budget of recovery and growth, 7.298 trillion naira, the 2017 budget. That's what we're looking at. And before we went on that break, I was asking you a question. Let's talk about the lake rise, the lake Lagos Kebbi. Because during the speech of the president, he said something that I took note of. He said, we are in a new era. An era that will grow what we eat and also consume what we make. They said we need to achieve self-sufficiency in food and also export processed agric products. Talking about lake rice, that's 12,000 naira.
12,000 naira, yeah.
And it's going to be out.
It's out already. It's out already. People are buying it now, and you see, that is what the kind of things that we're talking about. Lagos model. And when you see within this short period that Governor Ambode came into office, he was able to bring out with his counterpart in Kebbi, coming together to have, okay, you have the land, you have everything, we have the money, we have the resources, we have the market, we have the manpower, so we can partner together. And today we have the lake rice. Today, if not for lake rice, I know a lot of people will be buying rice for 30,000 naira. But because of lake rice now that have flooded our markets today, because people now have access to buy rice for 12,000 naira, and which is a very
That's
great
ingenuity.
One. That's ingenuity. That's the kind of thing we want to see. That's
because
the kind
just
of
from
things,
2 states,
yes,
if you can have that from 30,
for
the remaining 29.
If every state now collaborate with one another, and you know your strength, you know your weakness, we marry the two together and we produce something for the. We go to Haba. I mean, we see Haba made the shoes, the shirts, and of this world, and also. Why can't somebody also have an advantage in that, goes to another fellow who has also an advantage in another thing, and work together,
collaborate,
and we continue to drive our economy. And that is why I'm still advocating for the youth to be at the steering of
So we
these
get innovations, right?
innovations, because we have a lot of innovations as young people.
And Comrade Eva, I know your selling point in the Niger Delta is fish. If you still have some
fishing
alive,
trawlers.
they should
We
be
are
fishing
begging for
trawlers.
fishing trawlers. We are being nothing. The governors, I begged the president the other time to gather all the Niger Delta governors inside dark room and hold their ears. Why are you not producing fish from the Atlantic Ocean? And Lagaza fishing trawlers and other fishing trawlers from Lagos, Yoruba businessmen, we move from Kirikiri Jetty, move fishing trawlers from Kirikiri Jetty to the Akasa Island, to the Akasa Atlantic Ocean to get all these titles and all these fish for our market.
We can feed the country and
We can feed the country and even
send export.
especially seafood.
Can I quickly take Alaji Suba from Alimosho? Good morning, Alaji.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, sir.
Please, my point is this, on the issue of budget. It's easy to announce budget, but what about implementation? You see, it's another issue when you come to implementation. You see, it's like a house which is divided can never make a progress. If our president, is pulling it up, some people is pulling it down, it will be pretty difficult for him to implement whatever he has for Nigeria.
That's it.
It's a problem. You see, right now, we are not confronted with what is happening in the government. The house is divided. It has to unite the house. It has to, look at the Senate. They are on their own. They are pulling the president. Nothing is not working. If he goes up, they pull it down. So, and you are not talking, you are expecting, 2017. I look at it as impossibility. And that is why I'm concerned about the implementation of this budget, because we are not happy. This particular government has one active year more, and you can imagine we have gone with 2 years is wasted, and they have by the time we finish 2007, I'm happy you have some honorable that are more political in your front there. The moment we finish 2007, we're going to a political year. So what are we talking about? It's a problem. So I'm appealing to President Muhammadu Buhari to unite his house, because a house which is divided can never make a success.
Yes. Thank you so much, Alaji Suba.
Before going, that is why my own personal appeal is to the leader of the party. To the leader of the party, because from experience, I know that the leader of the party just have to know that.
You mean John Oyegun?
I'm talking, the leader of the party is
the president.
Asiwaju himself.
Okay, Asiwaju
Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because he produced this, he gave us this president. Just like the way former President Obasanjo gave us Jonathan. It was Obasanjo that gave us Jonathan. So I was angry when somebody who told us in this world that Yar'Adua can be president anywhere during the time of the acting president drama. When Yar'Adua was sick, somebody who told us that Yar'Adua can be president of Nigeria from anywhere, even if he's sick in Saudi Arabia. That person now was the person that my brother now used to replace Obasanjo as his own leader. I said, what type of thing is that?
The big one.
The same thing now, the drama that is coming up. Now we are saying that since it was Tinubu that gave us this presidency, they produced the president. He was the arrowhead. When the arrowhead, as a arrowhead, he should not fold his hand. Okay. Because history will record the years he gave us the president. Because, okay, for example, if if President Buhari want to give excuse, if he did not perform, we pray he perform. And we are shouting because we want him to perform. He can give us excuse that, me, when I was younger, I wanted to be your president, you refuse. When my bones are strong and I was very active, you refuse, you failed me 3 times. Now when I'm old now, you Nigerians voted me to power. So I was weak when you people elected me. So there's nothing I can do. He can say that. And if he can give excuse of that.
I know.
But Asiwaju cannot give excuse of the reason he produced the president.
Okay.
So as he produced the president, even if they are insulting him, he should move. Because he must put that in record in the history of mankind, that the president that he produced, the government that he produced, yes, he worked hard to make sure that he give us that relief. That he told us they will give us the relief in the name of change.
We have our last caller.
This Falcon matter shows that Bola Ahmed Tinubu just have to wake up to save the face of this government.
Shegun from Mota. Good morning.
Good morning, Dapo.
Yes, I just wanted Comrade Eva to finish.
It's always nice listening to the comrade.
Thank you so much.
He speaks from the heart. I wish most of us Nigerians were like him. I don't think this budget will succeed. I don't think so. The way we practice our democracy in Nigeria is very funny. The party, we must go back to the party itself. The party structure must be made strong. The party must have a say. If truly this government is running on the basis of that of APC as a party, if the programs of the government were developed by the party, what say does the party have in the implementation of these programs?
Okay.
There's what you call the party caucuses.
Yes.
I would have expected that before the government of Buhari, which is an APC government, comes up with a budget, the party will have sat down.
Yes.
The members of the caucuses, which includes the principal officers of the National Assembly, must have had a say in it. And as such, it will be easier for the budget to be passed. It will be easier for the implementation, except we go back to strengthening our party structure. Okay. This budget will not fly.
All right, thank you so much. I just have to let you go because
I want to thank you. No, I'm coming.
Some few minutes to go.
No, I've not finished before you turn back. No,
Okay.
you cannot come back.
Are you sure?
Very, very important. Yes. Look, we are all running on generator.
Yes,
why?
I know.
The Minister of Power.
Yes.
Power, works, housing, and
housing.
this and that. Can he carry the three things? Because when he was governor here, it was Tinubu that was giving him idea from his previous experience. Now, can he carry these three things? So now we have no light anywhere in the country. When Buhari was coming, everybody said, Buhari is coming. It is Buhari that is coming. Make sure that everything is all right. Oh yeah, refinery, walk. If not, we're in trouble. Now everywhere is sleeping because something is wrong. And that's why we're shouting. Okay. Nigerians are crocodile for many Nigerians body food because of no light.
All right, let's go. 529
So the president should not give those three portfolios cannot be carried by Fashola. Fashola don't have that capacity. We know how we are managing him here before. So he cannot carry those three things to give us more headache in this 2017.
529 billion is being marked for the ministries, power, works, and housing. And again, the man, is he not too encompassing? I mean, too much for him?
Well, for me, I think he has the capacity. He has sat on that kind of a budget before, and I believe that he can still do what is expected of him to do. Like I said earlier, if we have the right people, if we have the right direction. But for me, I think some of the things that I'm hearing today will always make our party to be stronger, and I believe that Mr. President will continue to listen to the voices of the people that elected him. He will do the right thing. He will work with the party leadership, and things will continue to happen and get better in Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Honorable Segun Olulade, member at Lagos State House of Assembly and Chairman, House Committee on Health. Comrade Joseph Eva, also a rights activist, a public.
So as well, you should move to the villa. Because he installed the villa, so you should move.
You should move.
That's why we are looking darkness everywhere in the country. Yes. We are asking Asiwaju, is there darkness that you brought this new government? So he just have to move. And in Yoruba history, they will torment him. In the next 400 years, they will ask your grandchildren. Your father brought a president, and that time darkness was in charge. Are you coming to be a councillor now?
Thank you so much.
So Asiwaju need to move to make sure that he help the president.
Yes, and that's our package for today. Thank you very much for being part of it. Join us tomorrow for another edition of the
president need help.
My name is Dakpo Aruajo. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.
The president good budget.